Tell me about yourself. This question makes people nervous. What can you say? Honestly, this is a bad question to ask. If I was giving someone a job interview, I would never ask this question because it makes people feel uncomfortable. But you might hear it and need to answer. Maybe in a job interview, or an interview for university, or an English exam, or somewhere else.
In this lesson, you'll see answers to this question for 4 different situations. 1. In a job interview. 2. In a university interview. 3. In an English exam. This is the most general example, so if you just want a general way to respond to "tell me about yourself," watch this section. 4. When introducing yourself to new colleagues. Before we look at our sample answers, let's see 4 general tips.
First, think about the context you're in. Tell me about yourself doesn't mean tell me everything about yourself. You need to choose where to focus. For example, in a job interview, you should focus on your professional background. In an English exam, you'll probably give a more general answer.
Secondly, keep your answer short and focused. Our sample answers are mostly around 3 or 4 sentences. This is a good length to aim for.
Thirdly, remember that this question will usually be asked at the beginning of an interview. In most cases, the interviewer won't pay much attention to the content of what you say, so don't worry about it too much. The most important thing is that you can answer confidently and coherently.
Finally, here's a suggestion for a general structure. Make 1 or 2 sentences about your past, 1 or 2 sentences about your current situation, and 1 or 2 sentences about the future. Now, let's see some examples. I'm currently working in HR for Dell, but actually, as you've probably seen from my CV, my background is in graphic design. I've been wanting to get back to graphic design work for some time, and that's why I applied for this position. In this answer, you talk about your current situation and then add details about your background.
It's a simple answer, but that's fine. It's focused and clear, and it gives your interviewer the chance to ask for more details if he or she wants. Let's see one more example. I've been working in biomedical research for about 5 years. I completed my PhD 4 years ago, and I worked for a small pharmaceutical company here until, unfortunately, it went out of business recently. So I'm currently looking for a new position in biotech, pharma, or anything related to my training and experience.
This answer is a little more detailed. It also doesn't really include information about the future. That's okay. The past, present, future idea isn't a template which you have to follow. It's just a way to organize your ideas. Let's look at some language from these examples. In sentences 3 and 4, after "in," you need to name a sector. For example, I've been working in the education sector for 7 years. If you want to name a company, use "at." For example, I've been working at HSBC for a year and a half.
Could you complete these sentences to make them true for you? Pause the video and try it now. Say the sentences out loud. Next, let's look at university interviews. I've always loved drama, watching plays, and everything else connected with the theater. I've been involved in our school drama society for several years, both in terms of acting in productions and also working behind the scenes with set design, lighting, and things like that. I've known for a long time that I want to be an actor, and studying drama here would be a logical next step towards that goal, I think. This answer gives more details about the speaker's past experience and less information about the present and future. As you heard before, this is no problem. Don't feel that you need to have a certain number of sentences about the past or whatever. Different answers will fit different situations. Be flexible.
Let's see one more sample answer. I always knew I wanted to be a scientist, even when I was little. My best subjects throughout school have been maths and science, but at this point, I'd like to specialize more, which is why I'm applying to study astrophysics. I'm doing my IB next month, and my predicted grade is 40 or higher. I'm hoping you'll offer me a place to study here, and I'm excited to start my studies in September. These answers are specialized. They focus on particular subjects, but there are several pieces of language you can use, whatever you study. Let's look. Of course, you can change these phrases to fit your situation. For example, if you're still at school, you'll probably say are or have been in number 2 instead of were. Now it's your turn to practice. Use these 4 phrases to make your own answer using your own ideas. Pause the video and say your answer out loud now.
How was that? You might need to practice a few times to get everything fluent. Take your time and practice as many times as you need. Next, let's see how to answer "Tell me about yourself" in a more general way. For example, in an English exam.